Hey, welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Roles can be reversed. Always interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the readings. So we do look at everything, but we take more time to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, and see how they play out as karmic themes. You'll find that these readings have a therapy style to them, so they're a little bit longer because I give a lot more information. All right, now if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells me why everyone's doing what they're doing. That's important when you're dealing with people that wear masks, that always create illusions and facades to make themselves appear better or to appear a certain way that they're really not. All right. Now, anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, including the word of the video, in case you forget it, it will always be in the description box. If you enter into winning a free reading and you want to well, you'll have to go to the description box to get my email because you're going to need to send me an email to say I chose you. You'll know if I wrote the word winner underneath your comment. We'll decide best day and times that work for the both of us. And then the day before, I'll send you the link right to your inbox, or whenever we decide, I'll send you the link. All right. Just always like to put that out there because a lot of times people panic and they're like, I didn't never did this. How do I get on? It's real simple. All all winner readings that I give away are always done on YouTube. Always done live. I believe in spiritual law, what's best for everyone involved. Now, if you're someone that's like, I don't want anyone to know my questions, then you could always send me your questions the day that we figure out the best day and time. This way you don't have to say anything, but you'll know it's your reading, and I'll be sure to make sure that I answer all your questions. All right, let's see what the word of the video is. All right, I want to thank all my new and old subscribers. Thanks for all your likes, your shares, subscribes, your comments. I read them all. Thank you. I'm still picking, you know, winners, by the way, from the month that I couldn't because my husband was sick. So I'd be just because I haven't chosen you yet doesn't mean that I won't. So again, keep on the lookout. Okay, the underlining energy is narcissism. Narcissism. So I feel like you're in connection with someone that only cared about themselves. You know, I feel like they're an opportunist. Now, it doesn't mean that they're not attracted to you. It doesn't mean that they don't think that they have feelings, but a person that's never had a normal, healthy relationship doesn't really know what a normal, healthy relationship looks like. They are always coming from a very elevated, I wouldn't say their ego is always elevated. So they actually think that they don't really need to do that much within a relationship. Like, you should be happy that I'm with you. You know, I don't really do all this. And meanwhile, you're like, do all what? You're not doing anything. What, your little breadcrumbs that you give from time to time? It's like, but to them, it's a lot. And it's a lot because this person does not like to express the way that they feel. Feel like they have a lot of trauma, and trauma from their childhood, not even from their relationships. I feel like every relationship is shitty because they don't uh, know how to be transparent, but the wounding didn't happen in it from a relationship, and they brought baggage into their relationship. So this person, I feel like their life tends to look like a roller coaster, and they're in a low point within their life. So you dealt with this person before, they gave you very little. I'm feeling like this person's going to come back into your life, and they're going to go from one extreme to another, meaning now they're going to love bomb you. They're going to give, they're going to act like you're the best thing since sliced bread, and that you got it all wrong, and that they had their problems, that they should have listened to you. A lot of flattery, a lot of false flattery. It's like this person, I feel like, is really desperate. This is the underlying energy. And what do they say? Nothing like a narcissist that gets thrown out of their previous relationship and needs a place to live. Do they fall in love faster? So there's almost like this energy where this person sees you as their savior, almost, is what I'm feeling. And I don't know why I channeled all that, but we're going to pull some cards and we're going to see. But we know that narcissism is not a good thing. When you were with this person, they have a lot of excessive behavior. And excessive, if they like something, they really like it. So I feel like they have addictions. I also feel like they lie a lot. Everything that they do is over. So it's a second chakra imbalance. They overcompensate for the lack that they feel within inside of themselves. So they overstate the situation. And so I feel like you setting up boundaries for this person, they have a major problem. So instead of them being able to talk about a situation, they beat around the bush, they punish, they stonewall, and it's just a lot, like it's over the top behavior, I feel like, in order for them to get their point across without actually verbalizing. So they have a lot of excessive behavior, and that's manic behavior. Like I said, I feel like this person is spiritually off. You feel like they're spiritually off. Like they drink too much, they smoke too much, they do whatever they do to escape reality. They do it too much, and that is affecting this person's whole equilibrium, their whole balance. They're up in their head, they ruminate because now they're in a place of survival. And then the thing is, they go from one extreme to another. So when you were with them, it's like they didn't give. They acted like they didn't really care. And it's almost like this person's very detached, very disassociated. So they come into a relationship and they give a lot of mixed messages. And you can tell that they like you because of the way that they're acting, but they won't verbalize. They won't really even let you get comfortable within the relationship. Like you never know where they are within the relationship, where you are with them in the relationship, what type of relationship it is what I'm trying to get at. And so when you try to ask them, they act like you're being excessive, like you're harping on it, going on and on and on. And that's just a form of gaslighting. It's just a way that they're avoiding answering the question because, again, they like to act like they don't care. They have a real second chakra imbalance, which is what creates when a person's spiritual equilibrium is off. It's because they're not coming from their true self, their higher self. They're always coming from the mask part of themselves. So again, person that wears a mask, they have to emulate what they perceive that mask is representing. So I just feel like this person wants to act like they don't really care as much in the relationship. And narcissists always like to put themselves on a pedestal. They want to feel desired and sought after. And so to the point that they have excessive behavior. So this person actually projects a lot. They deflect and project a lot, and they avoid, and their excessive behavior is just a way, like a manifestation of their manic behavior that comes from either the drugs that they're doing, the shady behavior. This person never feels settled. That's what it feels like. And possibly because they're always lying all the time, always trying to get over, always scheming. And like you said, I feel like they're always lying, but they're always strategizing, trying to manipulate the situation to have control over the situation. And it's because this person doesn't really know what they want. They're letting their survival dictate them. So did they have feelings for you at one time? Yes, they did have feelings for you at one time, but you didn't make things easy for them. And so you expressing yourself makes this person feel uncomfortable. They feel as if you're being excessive, that you're ruminating, that you're trying to control. But the truth of the matter is that this person, anytime that you challenge them, well, then they take a few steps back, and then their excessive behavior comes on into play, where they and go up in their head, begin to ruminate, and that makes them feel inadequate. And then that's when they reach for the outside things to change their energy, whether that's alcohol, whether that's smoking too much weed. It's doing something for escape, for them to not have to be present. So they have major avoidant issues. So they never look at their own wounds. They never look and see what they do. And now what it is, it's like you walked away from this person. So it's like this person just sits there with, while they're drowning. This is what it feels like. It feels like they acted aloof to think that you were going to give them more, that you were going to be a rescuer, that you were going to, they were scheming, they were trying to manipulate. And why? Because this person does not like to come across as emotionally, they don't want to be emotionally open. They don't like to have to feel their emotions. They'd rather strategize. They'd rather look at relationships more as in exchange. Like, yeah, I'm gonna take you out, we're gonna go out to dinner, I'll pay for the dinner, and in exchange you'll let me like be with you. Like that's like on a very basic level. This is almost like this person, they've learned to strategize, they've learned to look at people for what they can do for them. So it's like, again, they're in a down point within their life. They're not in a good place within their life. So they want to come back in and almost be like, what, go from one extreme to another, act like they don't care, now to like excessive behavior, where really they're just scheming because the way that things were left with you bothers them. And I feel like it bothers them because you walked away without a scratch on you. This person is not a happy person. They're somebody that's wounded and that hasn't done any healing. So I feel as if this person wanted to act as if they didn't care. They always like to scheme to try and get over, to get what they want. That's not what happened here. What happened here is that they showed their mask slipped. You walked away. It's haunting them because now they have to see the truth about themselves, that they're not really as desirable, they're not really as smart, and that you're moving on. This is what I'm feeling, and I feel like that is a trigger for this person. And it's a trigger because they're a narcissist, and narcissists like to put themselves on a pedestal. They like to utilize people for what they can utilize them for. But I think that this person actually thinks that that's what love is. They think, oh, love is when you're with a person and you get to use everything that is theirs. So if they have a lot of great friends and they're seen as someone important in the community, now if I'm with them, now I'm going to have that status. So if they make a lot of money, well, I'm going to have access to that money. So again, it like sees you as not just doesn't see you as a person, but almost like as a resource. But that's the way that they deal with their relationships. Like I said, if they were to take someone out to dinner, they would have no problem saying, okay, service me, I can return. If I'm going to do this for you, you need to do this for me. Like it's an equal exchange. It's not it's not what unconditional love is based on. It's a narcissistic love, which is ownership, expectation, and a lot of anger. Someone that is never allowing themselves to go into their intuition because they don't want to feel that deep. They don't want to feel because they know that once they feel that they relinquish part of their control. So at one time, this person, they were sensitive. And I feel like they were taken advantage of. And I feel like that happened so early on in their childhood that they just think that this is the way that they are. And the truth of the matter is, being with them, you felt lonely. And it's really this person feels lonely. They don't let anyone in. This is why they want to strategize. They want someone to give to them. They just don't want to give anything back. They need to have a person really desire them because they're not feeding themselves. And when I say feed yourself, it means when you invest in yourself, and that's not buying yourself stuff. It means taking a course, joining something, interacting in your community, volunteering. It's to do something of substance. This person goes out, they hook up with people for one day, they lie, they toy around with a person for a while, they think that they have feelings, but it's really just lust because they never put the time in. And then their pastime, they block themselves out with alcohol and drugs and just, they don't, so they are lonely. And I don't think that this person even realized that they were lonely, to be honest with you. And so they stay away from you because they know that it's, again, argument, that you're going to say something to them. They don't want to hear the criticism. I also feel like when this person doesn't get their way, instead of being able to communicate, because they have expectations. Remember, they're a narcissist. They're coming in with expectation that you are going to do something and be a certain way because they're lonely. They're not looking at the fact that they haven't given you anything and that you're lonely. They don't look at you as a person. They scheme too much. So this person, I feel like, is getting frustrated because their expectations of what they perceive you were going to do, you're not doing it. So I feel like they're going to like try and run into you and literally start an argument, try to like move the energy somehow, because the energy right now is stagnant. You're not doing anything. They don't want to do anything. However, it's bothering them that you're not doing something. They thought by now that you would have. They think that you're being kind of stubborn. They don't really, they want to downplay the severity of how they treated you. They know that they should have given you an apology. They avoided giving you an apology because, again, that would make them feel and be vulnerable. And they don't want to be transparent. They don't want to be vulnerable. They're a narcissist. They want to appear better. And people that seem as if they're better, they don't apologize. And so you called their bluff. You're like, I'm not, you act like you don't give a shit. You act like you don't give a shit, but I can feel like you do. And I feel like you're frustrated because there is a spiritual connection. This person acts aloof, but again, there's someone that wants to be in full control. And they're doing it because normally that works. But normally that only works for people that haven't done any healing. That works for people that don't notice that all they're getting is breadcrumbs. So this person is used to dating people that don't notice. And obviously, who's going to be with someone that doesn't give anything is a person that has been abused, someone that's been neglected. And I say that because I think a person that's only getting breadcrumbs all the time, but then is expected to give all their energy and resources and time and to someone else is abuse. It's an unequal energy. It creates sickness. because it creates resentment all the time. And I feel like when you were with this person, you're like, I'm more lonely with you than without you, because you don't know how to have a regular conversation. When things don't move for long periods of time, you want to start an argument as if it's a way to stir up some sort of passion. And maybe that used to work in the beginning because I didn't know you. But now I know you and I'm kind of sick of it. There's this energy, Virgo, where you're like, I'm sick of it. Like the same tricks aren't working. And I called your bluff because you're telling me one thing, you're doing something else. You act like you don't care. So good, I'm leaving. And it's satisfying because you know that this person is bothered, even though they're acting like they don't care. It's like because you know all that they were trying to do was dominate you. But that way only works with a person that hasn't healed. Or that doesn't know their worth. So this person, for whatever reason, didn't think that you knew what your worth was. You just felt unsafe. Like, because this person wants to dominate you and not give you anything in return. So you felt as if it was going to be a complete trauma bond relationship, that this person was going to suck you dry of all your resources because you knew that they didn't build the emotional connection that you desired. And every time you tried to get that, this person just would be excessive, say that you were being excessive. Because you're still holding on, you're still standing your ground. It's not like you've budged. This person tried to do a lot of things to get you to budge. That's not happening. This person realizes it now. That's why they're like, well, I'm going to pull out the last stop. And the last stop is, I need to see you. I don't really believe that you don't have feelings. You're not responding to me. You're not talking to me. You walked away. Now this person knows, well, it's like either you're going to walk away, you're going to stay away forever because you're not responding to them, and you're not going to unless you would see some sort of change behavior. And even then, some of you guys are like, no, it took too long, because I feel it's still not safe. Because as soon as you get what you want, you just revert back to the way that you were because you didn't invest enough time. So it goes back to that, where this person is like I said, you just don't feel safe. So what does this person, let's go a little bit deeper. What do they think? Please send me energetic support. Use a frequency of love to uplift me because I need your help. Yeah, this person is like, I can't come towards you, and I can't come towards you to do anything because I don't know if you want me to even talk to you anymore. See, again, they flip-flop. The narcissist flip-flop, and that is, I'm going to put myself on a pedestal. I have a big ego. I'm going to be really arrogant. I'm going to act very aloof, like I don't give a shit. However, now that you stood your ground and you said something, now I'm going to flop the other way and be really insecure and still act like the victim and be like, well, I don't know what to do. Stuck and stupid. And I feel like, because people don't normally do this to this person, where it's like, okay, you want to play all these games, you want to avoid me, you want to do everything to avoid me, include check out with your drugs, your alcohol, whatever, you're having a good old time. And now I'm not talking to you, I'm not going to give you anything. I called your bluff. And now you don't know how to fix it. Of course you don't know how to fix it, because you create this whole big mess. You sure as hell know how to dish it out, but you don't know how to take it. And you need my help. Why do you need my help? I'm going to come back and say, oh, it's okay that you abused me. It's okay that you undervalued me. That's what this person knows. That's why they're like, I don't know how to even fix this. Words have hurt me in the past. That's why I fear talking to you. And that's why I said again in childhood that happens. But it's like, hello, it doesn't matter. It's up to us to heal. It's not our fault about our wounds, but it's our responsibility to heal them. Otherwise, we just go into every relationship bleeding on that person. And that's what this person tried to do to you. I'm not going to express to you how I feel. I'm not going to say anything. If anything, they make it like, that's too much. You're asking for too much. You're excessive. Where that's not excessive. That's manipulation. And that's because they're a narcissist and they don't want to have to do it because they've been rejected before. And as I said, in childhood, they weren't allowed to speak up. They weren't allowed to be emotionally vulnerable. So they're still pulling this shit, and they've learned to navigate their relationships where they haven't had to, but obviously not with any type of a quality person, because no one's going to enter into a relationship where they're not getting anything. This person likes to play a lot of games to get what they want. I can't fully be there for you because I have karmic people that I have to let go of. So I feel like for some, it's like those karmic people, they're just people that they hook up with. People that, again, they don't have to give anything to. People that feed their ego and make them appear as if that they're important, but they're not getting anything in return. And so the irony is, because this person stays connected to people that they really shouldn't be connected to, they keep them there again because, hey, their needs get met. Anytime I want sex, I can make a phone call, and it could be 2 o'clock in the morning, it could be 3, that I have people on call. Again, they don't think much of themselves, but I don't care about them for that. It's compartmentalizing. So I'm going to use these people for that. Then I have other people that take care of my dry cleaning, my cleaning, my cooking, that I actually pretend that they're important, but they're not important either, because I can't sleep with them because I'm not attracted to them. I utilize those people as, if I have kids, like a nanny, somebody that again is going to cook, clean, take care of the house, maybe pay the bills, maybe mow the lawn, do that. They compartmentalize. They use people for what they can use them for. This is why you don't feel safe with this person, because you knew you're not giving me anything. You're not giving me anything. You're giving me breadcrumbs, and now you're annoyed because you had expectation. And because I keep holding my ground, you're saying I'm being excessive. I'm not being excessive. You have people that you need to let go of that you don't want to let go of. You don't have feelings for them, but you don't really have feelings for me either. You're just attracted to me. You lust me because you haven't put the time in to get to know me. And then on top of it, you have a lot of angry energy because, again, people don't navigate their life this way. They don't start fights purposely just so that they're soothed. People don't do that. You do that. You start arguments just so that you could be soothed. When meanwhile, it's really just avoidance because you have karmic people on the side. You don't really want to be in a relationship because you don't want to speak. You don't want to communicate. You don't want to hear what I have to say. You don't want that part of a relationship. What you want is to be a narcissist. You want to use people for what they can do for you. So what I see is that they're not letting go of karmic people right now. So we have to say, why did you attract this person into your life? Because you're a mirror of whom what comes into your life. So do you deserve to be with a person that's not available? Someone that would rather have a bunch of karmic people that they use to service them, to give them, to feed their ego, to make them again be able to continue to wear that mask? Or do you want to, again, the innocence? Card number 1. These are the inner child cards. Oppression. Card 2. Unworthy, card 3. Naive, card 4. Rebellion, 5. And we're going to pull just one more. Trauma. So it's obvious here that you grew up with a parent that kept your energy down, and they did so by making you feel unworthy, by not making you feel good enough. It really robbed you of your innocence. But on the same token, you are naive. You were naive because for a long time, trauma will do that. It's that you know that what a parent is doing, but it's almost like you just can't believe that a parent is doing it, right? It's like we don't want to believe it. So I feel it's again that you were seen as someone that was rebellious, but you really weren't rebellious by standing up for yourself. But I feel like you had to, because otherwise you would be overlooked all the time. And someone that was continually stealing your energy, keeping you down. So a parent that's jealous of you, a parent that was abused growing up, and they were controlled by their parent, a lot of times passes on the same behaviorisms, hands down the same trauma, where your freedom of expression, is seen as unimportant, is seen as unworthy, and that's how you felt growing up, because your parent wasn't giving you love because they couldn't show up for themselves. They had their own trauma, and there was no spiritual help. So you have to remember, our parents grew up during wars, during depressions, during times of society that they've segregated people, put people down, killed people, murdered people, manipulated people. So people were terrified, and they didn't know their worth, and they did the best that they could do with the knowledge that they had. And the knowledge that they had was more taught from a dogmatic perspective. So our parents are all born into karma the way that we all are. We all inherit ancestral karma. So they might not have lived on a plantation, but possibly your great grandmother did. And even if she didn't, she was raised by someone that did, that knew those times. And it's those behaviorisms. And that's just one class. There's, again, every single nationality has really been at one time oppressed. And so a lot of times, like I said, our families are that way. And then what happens is that your freedom of expression of how you want to be addressed, even for the way that you want to dress, to the way that you want to look, to the way that your individuality will be, again, oppressed. Like, no, you're not allowed. You need to do what we say, because, again, they were traumatized. So trauma, and that could emotional trauma, psychological trauma. And the psychological trauma is, I shouldn't be me. I should be somebody else. Someone's taken my energy away, making me feel that I'm a bad person, someone that's holding me down. And that's what this person was pretty much doing, because they don't want to let go of the karmic people, but they didn't really want to let go of you either. You called their bluff. They didn't think you were going to be strong enough to walk away. You were. It's like, but this person thought that you were naive, and they took advantage of it. They took advantage of your innocence. And that's what this person did also. So this person mirrored a lot of what you've already been through, where, again, the end result, feeling unworthy. So we know that the antidote to heal unworthiness is to pour into ourselves, to make us, to heal ourselves, to love ourselves. We have to reparent ourselves by making ourselves feel worthy. And that's actually what you did. You didn't entertain this because you saw it, and you saw it because you grew up in a way where you were taught this lesson a long time ago. So this is why you got it. We're put in a position where, hey, you could go back to what's familiar, or you can create something altogether new. But it's always to reparent yourself, doing things that you love, things that are going to make you feel good, surrounding yourself with like-minded people that are going to pour into you and make you feel good, that are going to make you feel worthy so that you can see your worth. Again, becoming yourself, creating yourself, not allowing people to put little obstacles and giving you little breadcrumbs, acting like it's enough. But then they want to take your resources. They want to capitalize on it. No, that's the way to keep you down. Nope. It's about giving yourself, and again, connecting to like-minded people and becoming yourself, and then sharing your knowledge, contributing to the world. I don't care how, you can volunteer even. It would be better than being around someone that's stealing and oppressing you, because when you volunteer, it actually makes you open up your heart. And that's the way that you heal trauma. And that's the way that you can, again, get back into the child mind, because you can imagine anything, right? I mean, that's how you heal. That's how you have to reparent yourself. And then you are seen as a rebel, but in a positive way. You know, you're not going to take any nonsense. There's a sense of, this little girl doesn't want to be a rebel. She's crying, but she's going to do whatever she has to do. And I feel like that's what you had to be taught. Like sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, because the people that are in your environment that should be loving you, they don't know how. They see you as a threat. They see you as a trigger, and mainly because they haven't healed their own wounds. And that's all that it is. So this was about you not going back to what's familiar, recognizing the old trauma, and then integrating the spiritual lesson, which is all about your goodness, seeing your goodness, being around people that oppress you, hold you down, make you feel unworthy, that traumatize you, they make you feel insignificant, where Spirit's saying, no, it's all about your goodness. I overcome my imperfections, polish my character, and feed on the positive aspects of me. I free myself, allow my goodness to manifest and become a source of joy, which wouldn't be able to happen if this person was stealing all your energy. Again, they're a narcissist. They wanted to capitalize on all your good. And as the Spirit says, no, you use your good, yum for yourself. So through gentleness, I offer unconditional support and understanding and love to myself, mainly, and then to others, but that's in a balanced way, and I'm giving to myself first. That's what Spirit said. That's how you reparent yourself. That's how you break the karmic cycle. And I feel like you already had learned this, but the last part of fully learning is the whole integration, transmutation process. That's when we don't just have awareness. It means that we're grounding the spiritual lesson, doing something different so we see ourselves differently. I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.